Okay, this is lesson 44 for 7th grade, and today we're talking about dividing answers. We've been doing division for a long time now, and we should know that we can get different answers when we divide numbers. We can get decimals, we can get mixed numbers, we can get whole numbers, and all those sorts of things. So we're going to talk about those today and show how we can represent different division answers. And this will fit in with what we were just talking about with fractions and decimals and things like that. Alright, so here are our main goals for today. We got two of them. We will be able to write division answers with remainders as mixed numbers or fractions and as decimals. And we will also apply and understand the idea of a remainder and then apply that to word problems. Okay, so we'll start off here. We can write answers to division problems with remainders in different ways. We can write them with a remainder. So this is probably what we did when we were very young. If we did 27 divided by 4, 4 goes into 27 6 times. 6 times 4 is 24. Subtract, you get 3. So we would say 6 remainder 3. So we might have written it like that a while back. We can also write this as a mixed number. Okay, so we just take our remainder and we put it over our divisor. So 6 and 3 over 4, or 6 and 3/4. We can also take that and we can write it as a decimal number. So it says first we add decimal points to the dividend and to the quotient, and we make sure to line everything up. Then we add zeros to the right of the decimal point in the dividend and continue dividing. So we could have kept dividing here, where they stopped here before. We add a decimal point and add some zeros. We drop this 0 down. So 27 minus 24, we got 3. Drop the 0. We have 30 now. 4 goes into 37 times. 7 times 4 is 28. And 30 minus 28 is 2. Then we drop that 0 down. And we get, sorry about that. And we get 4 goes into 25 times. 5 times 4 is 20. Subtract these two, we finally get 0, so we know we're done. So 6.75. So we just saw that we could write this division problem as 6 remainder 3, 6 3/4, or 6.75. So 3 different ways to represent our answer. And some situations will call for different answers, and it'll be up to us to decide what those are. So let's take a look at this example. Divide 54 by 4 and write the answer A with a remainder, B as a mixed number, C as a decimal. So let's just get into this right away here. 54 divided by 4. We're going to divide 54 into 4 parts. 4 goes into 5 once. 1 times 4 is 4. Subtract, 5 minus 4 is 1. Drop our 4 down, 14. 4 goes into 4 3 times. And 3 times 4 is 12. We subtract here, and we get 2. Okay? So, one way we could write this with the remainder, 13 remainder 2. So 13 remainder 2 is one way to go. However, we also learned that we could take our remainder and put it over our divisor. So 13 with a remainder of 2, we could put the 2 over the 4. So 13 and 2/4. So taking our remainder, putting it over the thing that's dividing our number, and 2/4 reduces to 13.5. Now, in order to get our decimal answer, we put a decimal point here and here, and we add a 0, and we see if we need more than that or not once we go on. So we drop this 0 down, and we get 20. 4 goes into 20 5 times. 5 times 4 is 20. subtract, we get 0, so now we're done. So as a decimal, 13.5. So these would be our 3 separate division answers there. 13 remainder 2, 13.5, and 13.5. Alright. Moving on. Sometimes a quotient written as a decimal number will be a repeating decimal. Other times it will have more decimal places than the problem requires. In this book we show the complete division of the number unless the problem states that the answer is to be rounded. Okay, so unless it says you should round it, keep going with your division. You might not be sure how far it goes. Okay, but for instance here, we divide 37.4 by 9 and round our answer to the nearest thousandth. So this one goes beyond the thousandth place, but it says that we can round it to the nearest thousandth, which means we have to divide until the 10,000th place. So 37.4 divided by 9. Trying to make sure everything's lined up nice here. Decimals are lined up. 9 goes into 37 4 times. 4 times 9 is 36. 37 minus 36 is 1. Now we're going to drop our 4 down. 9 goes into 14 once. 1 times 9 is 9. Now we have to add some zeros here. There's our thousandths place. We need to get to the 10,000ths. See if we're going to round up. 14 minus 9 is 5. We're going to want to drop that 0 down. 50. 9 goes into 50, let's see, 5 times. 5 times 9 is 45. You get another 5. Drop this 0 down. 50. 9 goes in there 5 times again. And we will get 45 again. And we'll drop this down after we get 5. And we should get another 5. So 4.1555. And we're going to round that to the thousandths place. So we need to look at the 10,000ths in order to see if we're going to round up or if we're going to stay the same. So we're looking to round this one up or stay the same, so that means we're going to check this one out. 5 or above says we're going to round the underlined one up. So rounded answer 4.156. That would be our rounded to the nearest thousandth answer. Alright? And I believe we got one more here. So I'll erase this. And now we're going to see how all of this applies to a real life situation. I'm going to check my time quick. We're doing okay. Alright, so it says vans will be used to transport 27 students on a field trip. Each van can carry 6 students. How many vans can be filled? How many vans will be needed? And if all but one van will be full, how many students will be in that van that will not be full? Okay, so we need to start with A here. How many vans can be filled? And it comes back to our division here because we're going to use 27 students and each van can hold 6 students. So we're going to divide 27 students up into 6 groups, or groups of 6 basically. So not 6 groups, but 27 students into groups of 6. We need to figure out how many groups of 6 we have. So that means we're going to do 27 divided by 6. Okay, 6 goes into 27. Let's see, 4 times. 4 times 6, 24. Subtract that, we get 3. Alright, so we have 4 remainder 3. Remember, we could write that a bunch of different ways. 4 and 3/6, or 4.5 would be okay. But we, we want to use the remainder in this one. It's going to help us out towards the end. So, how many vans will be filled? Well, it looks like we've got 4 groups of 6 students and then a remainder of 3 students. So we've got 4 vans that will be filled completely. How many vans are we going to need though? Well, we'll need 4 for the groups of 6 and the full vans, but then we've got 3 students left over. So we will need 5, unless we're going to leave those students behind, which we don't want to do. So we will need 5 vans for this trip. And see, if all but 1 van will be full, then how many students will be in the van that will not be full? Well, we've got 4 vans that will be full with 6 students in them, and we've got 3 left over. So there should be 3 students in the van that will not be full. So we're going to talk about this more tomorrow, and we'll see you then.